Sounds good.
Oh, Louis must split escape when he leaves.
Yeah, when he leaves Sanctuary. You can still hear me okay?
I can, yeah.
All right, well, we're live and just waiting for them to start. They obviously don't have any reason to start for a few minutes if they don't want to. They're still warming up. They need to exchange file names first.
Howdy, howdy, everybody. Hey, Yoke.
I'm just trying to quickly finish a salad before they start.
I like this layout, but I think it's really nice looking, but I do also think it's kind of funny that it looks like Link is about to chop Zelda's head off. He's holding, I don't know if you're looking at it, but he's holding his sword and then there's a reflection of Zelda in the like lake. But the way it's positioned is kind of funny.
Mm. Let's see here, can I... mess with some audio stuff here on my end as well. Boop, 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 boop. There.
Boop, 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 boop.
You making fun of me?
I would never. I'm just getting you back for pointing out my missed menu yesterday.
I thought it was really funny.
I felt so stupid. Oh, I should probably make the title correct.
Hang on, who is that? I never watched these opening, like the opening credits, I guess, for lack of a better term. If you just sit there and don't start playing the game right away.
Right, right.
So you see the princesses all being locked up, and there's Aga putting Zelda in the cell. Who is sitting in the throne in the throne room?
I believe that's the King of Hyrule, but he's been like badly corrupted by Aghanim's evil magic.
Oh.
I think that's the lore.
Yeah, that's
right. Do we ever meet that guy?
He's in the credits at the end, restored to health.
Oh, okay.
I only know that because the rando credits make a joke about it. I was like, whoa, I never paid attention. Nobody, I don't think I've caught any like really next level file names yet. Aerie, I think, was one of the best in the last tournament. I'm forgetting there was somebody who just had consistently hilarious file names for their opponents. It's an important sub game.
Fricker, you went with something FMG related, didn't you?
Yeah, that was the file names that was given to me by 1UP, I think, or yeah, 1UP.
Oh, because that's how the tournament setup works. You use the file name given to you by your opponent, right?
Yeah, just like it's a very minor little anti-cheat measure.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's harder to splice in.
I am looking forward to this one. This should be a good race. Louis and Bydey are both wicked fast.
It should be a good race.
Bydey was just practicing a lot last night.
Yeah, Bydey actually PB'd. He got the 125.
Oh, sweet. I wondered, because I see his splits. It's a 125-46. I wondered if those were new.
Yeah, just last night.
Awesome. So he's peaking at the right time.
Yeah. He took a break from the game for a while, but he seems to be back in shape again already. Louis has been playing a lot of low percent lately.
Yeah.
I was about to say it's like riding a bike, but no, it's not. It's nothing like riding a bike.
All right, Bydey, come on, man. Come on, man. Where you at?
It looks like neither runners have readied up yet.
Well, Louis can't ready up until Bydey gives him file names, and Bydey is not at his...
Yeah, Bydey is not
Stream.
currently sitting in his chair.
Well, about starting on time.
As long as it's not my fault, it's okay. I just don't want to be
I'll
the
give him a
problem.
little bit of leeway. He's a dad. I get that. I'm gonna operate under the assumption that that's what's happening,
Seems likely, yeah.
and not just like he wanted a sandwich.
I was going to...
Did you all see? There was a tweet that went around, I don't know, maybe a month ago now, where someone found the original, like, uncompressed audio files from Super Mario World. Does that ring anybody's bells? It was so cool because it was the music that you know from Super Mario World, but so much better. It was so much better. So much gets lost because the files on the Super Nintendo are so tiny. So they had to be compressed so much. And I just keep wanting somebody to do the same thing for Link to the Past because it would be mind-blowing, I'm sure. Such good music. I need it. Oops, and I just hit my pop filter. I also don't know why I use a pop filter. You're supposed to, if you have a pop filter, you're supposed to have it set like 4 or 5 inches away from the microphone. My pop filter is literally in contact with the microphone, so it serves no purpose. It's not doing anything at all. Oh, Bydey's in his chair. Hey, Tom Weir, how are you?
Louis, what's your real PB? Is it an 09? Who am I thinking of? Is 124.21 your real PB? I thought you had an OX. Am I just stupid? Maybe it is just 124.21. I guess I just don't know. Okay. Alright, well, I expect the OX now so that I don't sound stupid.
Well,
retroactively.
I'm watching this stream on a multi.
Yeah, I got purple as well, dude.
Which means we're gonna get some purple screens occasionally.
I've never
Joy of
gotten a
joys.
purple. I don't know why I'm blessed to be free of them.
I literally have no extensions and no ad blockers, and I still get purple.
Same, but
yeah,
I don't get purples.
It happens to everybody now, I think.
I've never gotten one still. I don't know. I hope it holds.
Yeah,
Well,
sometimes it'll go away in like 30 seconds, and sometimes it'll drop down from the 30 and then just restart the timer.
Weird.
Here, I may see if I can find a way around it. And by a way around it, I mean I'm just gonna open up both of these racers in individual windows.
Yeah, some people have said that works better.
Well, because now I'm watching them on the actual Twitch page.
Right. Are the audio levels okay, by the way? Anyone who's watching the stream?
There we go. That's what I'm gonna do. So why have a 32-inch monitor if you're not gonna use it, I guess. All right. So I got Bydey and I got Louis both up. And oh, I was gonna say, oh, away we go, but never mind. Both of them just reset.
Yo, Yak, nice. All right, I think Bydey's putting in file names and then gonna be ready. Louis definitely winning the sub game of file names today.
Ryan, I think I'm just gonna do comms on Fox's restream.
Okay. So I may be a little bit ahead of Fricker in terms of comms, but hopefully not too far off.
Yeah, that's just why I didn't want to do it on both separate, because we're going to be way ahead of the viewers. So.
Oh, that's a good point.
No.
I don't
You'll
wanna...
be at the same as the viewers. Because I'm capturing your audio and the streams. If you're also watching the streams, all of the times line up. If you're watching a multi. Because the delay from Twitch to you is the same as the delay from Twitch to me. If you watch my stream and commentate on it, then there's an extra Twitch to you step of delay.
That makes sense, I think.
But it's fine. I mean, you could do it.
That does make sense. Well, okay, I've got them open in their respective Twitch channels, so I should be as little delay as possible.
All right, well then try not to spoil it too much for Fricker.
I will do my best. Well, see, Dow, that's what I would like to do. Is whoever's handling the restream, I would love to basically just like share the OBS window in Discord, and then you have virtually no lag, except for the fact that the person restreaming is grabbing Twitch windows and not anything that isn't lagged itself. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, and we're off. So yeah, we were just kind of discussing a little bit ago. Bydey PB'd just last night. I imagine shortly after he finished restreaming the race between and I don't remember who it was. But Bydey did restreaming.
That was very specific. I like it.
I know. I do what I can. So Bydey did some restreaming yesterday for the tournament, and then just kept it going after he finished and did some practice, and I guess a run. I wasn't able to watch any of it, but just fresh off of a PB, new PB of 125.46 up against Louis, who we just confirmed has a real PB of 124.21. So pretty closely matched, and Bydey in really good shape, has been practicing a lot, playing a lot. Louis, I know, has been doing a lot of low percent lately, so should be a very good race.
Yeah, definitely. Louis has been doing just fresh off of all dungeons and then going to low percent too, so he's definitely in shape for NMG.
Tonweir, does Bydey ever not have lots of fun? Bydey's stream is just one of the most joy-filled places. And also excellent tunes. Always good music in that stream.
Yeah, he's always bouncing some tunes, which is very nice. Contagious, if you will. But one cool thing too, just watching Bydey a lot, he does a lot of specific strats that are kind of easy for him. So it's always refreshing to see some newly strats upon some of these rooms that you've never seen before.
Mm-hmm. And Bydey has Joe DeMillo of 2021. I don't know if I'd go that far. That's a big name to be throwing around, serious. Bydey has a really strong early game. In part because Bydey is like myself, kind of a serial resetter. He doesn't waste a lot of time with finishing out dead runs. And a lot of that has been a real dedication to getting the 125, which he has now gotten. He went from a 127 to this 125 pretty quickly. But as a result of resetting a lot of dead runs, that means you're going to do a lot of light world. So Bydey's light world is very, very strong. And Bydey going with the one pot strat here, which is my preferred strat as well. I think one pot is OP. It does not lose a whole heck of a lot of time over the 8/ method, and is so much more consistent and safe and less risk of dying to ball and chain.
Yeah, for sure. Both runners actually had really good ball and chain guards.
So
But
back half of escape now. On our way to the throne room and then into the sewers. Everybody at this point, I imagine, very familiar with escape, if not the entirety of the run. This is very much just a tutorial section of the game to get you familiar with the basic commands and mechanics of combat and movement.
yeah, escape, everyone's favorite segment, right?
Mm-hmm.
I dislike everything about Light World.
I know that a lot of the higher level runners, both runners getting kind of bad RNG in the hallway there. I know a lot of higher level runners sort of think of not escape, think of the entirety of Light World as the stuff you have to do in order to make it to the fun part of the run. everything before Palace of Darkness is just like, well, I guess I gotta do this.
Yeah. That's typically why I don't reset often, because I can't stand doing Light World over and over. It's horrible.
See, I find Light World plenty challenging because Light World has Hera. And I would rather do 1,000 Palaces of Darkness than, well, maybe not 1,000. I don't know. I like Pod better than I like Hera, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Hera's definitely a big gatekeeper of the run, especially early games. So
Landmo is fun for you, Fox, because you're a masochist. Wait. Which one is the one where you like having a pain inflicted? Is that masochist or sadist? I don't know. Anyway, both runners with fairly decent key rats there. Bydey took just an extra second on his. I think he wasn't quite positive that he managed to get the key, so didn't start completely walking away. Ooh, Louis with a really nice boom on that rat. That was kind of cool to ensure that the rat didn't come back and get him.
yeah, Louis finishing a really nice escape. I believe it was a 49.
Yeah, 49 or 50 right there. I am able to see Louis' splits, but Louis splits on the exit of the sanctuary, so I'll let you know what that time is. Meanwhile, Bydey with a 5:55, so pretty decent escapes for both runners. Still lots and lots and lots of game left. Louis smartly opting for Sanctuary Heart here. Bydey does the same, as expected.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, the reason why some runners split late on escape is basically because they possibly go for rat frames, which save a little bit of time, and they don't want it to bleed into two different segments, so they just split on the sanctuary exit.
And generally, I imagine the entirety of the sanctuary section is going to be a very consistent time, unless you're somebody who occasionally skips Sanctuary Heart and occasionally doesn't. Regardless, though, oh dear. Regardless, the time for Louis there looks to be pretty much right at a 6:21, which is even with his PB.
Yeah, definitely pretty spicy.
Smooth
like-
overworld so far.
Yeah, it does look like they both took a hit in the overworld here for Eastern.
Yeah, I think they both got hit by an Octorok in that screen, just moving down south.
Octorok,
But that happens. That happens a lot. On to Eastern Palace now. Both of them getting some pretty funky cannonball RNG there, with the last one being on the left side. That's always kind of frustrating. It's nice to have cannonballs be right side as much as possible.
Yeah, you gotta love when you have to bob and weave between each one of them that get shot out.
I'm always... Oh, Bydey having a little bit of trouble in the Stalfos room. Accidentally spawned a couple extras, so that'll cost him some time. I'm always suspicious of weirdly good cannonball RNG. If I get the first 4 all on the right side, I start moving over to the left, or I start moving over to the right, because I don't trust it. I know that it's going to give me one. I know that it's going to give me at least one on the left, but then sometimes it backfires and I end up walking right into one.
Yeah, I've definitely been in that scenario before too. It's pretty funny. We'll see how the big key D boost goes for both runners here. See if they get a nice clean up boost.
Smooth for Louis, no problems.
I have not.
You go.
I was gonna say I have not seen where the price packs are at for both runners, because they're pretty low, but we'll have to pay attention to see if anyone gets a red drop.
Smooth big key sips for both runners, which is nice. I've seen a few already this tournament, kind of troublesome big key skips, which is not something you see very often, actually, is folks having trouble with that. But it is definitely one that can cause problems. It's a fairly major milestone for new runners. It's kind of the first really big glitch that you have to learn, and it takes some time to get comfortable with it.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree. I did see that Louis had a little bit of trouble in Gifted with Greenies, but Bydey actually did 2 Popo slashes. I'm not sure if he was trying to force a rupee drop, but he could have had a little bit more time gain there if it wasn't for that.
Speaking of rupee drops, though, Louis just got a red rupee in the Zelda Gamer room, so that's nice. Oh no! And Bydey, a little bit of trouble with the Igor there.
Bydey might just be shaking out some early tournament nerves. This is his first tournament game, so...
Louis closing out the Armos fight there, no problems whatsoever. I didn't even see what strat he went with.
Louis did the Pincus Armos, and looks like Bydey is doing the same as well.
Same, yep. Nice, clean Armos fight. Yeah, Bydey's not going to be super psyched about that Eastern Palace, but better to have an early bad split than a late bad split, I guess, in my mind, because at least you sort of know where you stand and how much ground you need to make up. But everything else being equal, I imagine he would prefer to be in the lead.
Yeah, this is actually not only both runners' first games of the tournament for the group, but I think this might be Bydey's actually first tournament game for NMG altogether too. So he might just be shaking a little nerves.
All right, Louis on his way to Desert Palace, no problem with his first spin speed. I'm always curious to see who does and does not bother with the unholy spin speed coming up here on the way to the library. Bydey also, no problem spin speed.
Yeah, I think they'll both go for it. Yeah,
yep, Louis is.
Gets it nicely.
Nice.
You know, I've been doing library spin speed for years, and I still have trouble getting through that library door cleanly.
My issue with it is always having to, for whatever reason, I just have a lot of trouble only touching the ladder one time. I always have to get it twice for I don't even know what reason. Bydey pretty clean did have to take 2 shots at arming the spin speed state, so that probably basically breaks even for him. Maybe still a small time save. He recovered really quickly.
Yeah, getting the spin speed on the way out as well.
Louis cutting his dash really early on that one. I think he ended up in the water a little bit. I don't know if that's how he does that on purpose every time, or if that was just a really, really early dash cancel.
Now, I know Bydey's been working on early game quite a bit lately. It's been funny too because I think just 2 days ago he found out about stair drag and he was super, super pumped.
So hypothetically, if I have absolutely no idea what stair drag is, what's stair drag?
It's basically like stair lag, but going up and down stairs. So like after you release Link off of like manual stairs, you get this kind of like little lag. It's not too much, but if you're able to turn on the stairs early and then come off of them, or just tap the dash button as you come off the stairs, it avoids that shutter lag altogether, and you get clean movement off of them.
Interesting. Bydey goes with the spin to kill the. God, I don't even know what that thing is called.
Sand
But
monster.
thank you. That's more of a beginner strat there. You see most people go with the double poke. So that's kind of interesting that somebody with a 125 is still using that strat. It's not a bad thing. It's a good, safe, consistent strat, but it is a little bit slower than the double poke. Oh,
So we'll see if either Louis or Buddy taps A on these stairs to get the glove. Yep, looks like Louis did.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Cancel that stair drag. We'll see if Buddy does it as well too.
never noticed that before.
Yeah, this game it's all about the little things, especially when it comes down to movement.
God, isn't that the truth? And that really is, I mean, the difference between, well, for instance, Bydey and Louis, about a minute and 20 seconds separating their times, and that minute and 20 seconds is almost all. There you go. Yep, Bydey also with the stair drag cancel. That minute and 20 seconds is almost entirely just movement optimization, little tiny things over the course of the entire run. It's not that, you know, Louis is a full minute faster in Ganon's tower than Bydey is. It's never going to be anything like that.
Yeah, it's just definitely spread throughout the game with like little optimal movements and rooms. It did look like Bydey had to grab the extra rupee pot before the big chest room in desert. He only had 3. So.
Yeah, he did. He was at 3 rupees. So that was a pretty smart pickup. Just to be sure that he's not going to have any problems. Louis, meanwhile, is filthy rich thanks to the red rupee drop he got in Eastern Palace.
Getting the 3rd worm kill. What a gamer.
Wow. Really good start to the Landmo fight for Louis.
Ooh, fires a little early. That could be cost. Oh, no,
Oh.
he cleaned it up with a late 3 cycle. GG,
Yeah,
Louis.
managed to barely save the 3 cycle, but really nice clutch sword slashes to close that out. And
Yeah,
Bydey's starting the fight now.
Yeah, when you get really good at the 3rd worm RNG, it really opens up the rest of the fight to be quite a bit easier for you to clean up, whether it's a 2 cycle or a 3.
Oh, Bydey barely missed the 2 cycle. Should be a free 3 cycle. Yep, early 3 cycle for Bydey. So save a tiny bit of time, just, you know, by virtue of being a quick 3 cycle as opposed to a late 3 cycle, but really nice fight.
Yeah, very nice fight from both runners, and looks like outside of desert, Louis took a hit from the sand monster.
Oh yeah, that's not ideal.
Bydey
going with the safer strat there. I don't know if those desert exits those strats have names or not. I'm sure they do. They all have names.
Every screen has some type of name.
Cactus Dash. There you go. Thank you, Fox. All right, Bydey getting ready for fake flippers now. Louis with fake flippers, no problem. I've seen some trouble with fake flippers as well during the tournament, and there you go. No problem, fake flippers for either runner. That's nice. Yeah, I've seen a couple of failed fake flippers from some really good runners this tournament. It's been kind of out of character for a few folks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I failed fake flippers in my last run.
Oh, was that yours? Mm.
Yeah.
I saw somebody, and I'm not trying to throw shade or anything. Everyone in this tournament is playing the game at a much higher level than I am capable. So put that out there to begin with. But I saw somebody, they slashed the bush to set up, and then took a hit from an enemy, and tried to just sort of eyeball it, and it went about as you would expect eyeballing fake flippers to go. So they ended up having to use a backup strat.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot that can go wrong there. Whether you drop your sword too late or early, if you get pixel boosted by a slope dash that can offset you from the setup.
Yeah, it can be such a frustrating screen. Ooh, Bydey narrowly avoiding hang on, cabbage. And another one too.
So Louis is down to 3 hearts going into Hera, so we'll see how this goes for Louis. Looks like he's opting to do the lobby dash or the lobby boom dash.
Yeah. Is that what do you do? Do you use the boom strats in Hera?
I do, but honestly, it doesn't save all that much time, and if you end up booming the switch, you know, without dashing forward, and then you have to reboom it a couple more times, like you're already losing time at that point.
Oh, gets it perfect though. Should have the iframes for the entirety of this, the rest of this screen. You see a lot of folks go for this strat and dash through the pegs, which is not a big deal. It just means that they have to keep paying attention to the tiles as they come flying in. But Louis nailed the positioning, so that's nice.
Yeah, definitely no shame for not doing boom dash. I mean, it's tough if you have to hit 3 inputs all in the same frame. So
yeah,
and it barely saves any time. A lot of it really just is for convenience.
Yeah, not hitting the switch, not having to hit the switch seems like it would be a pretty significant time save, but then you have to factor in the added menu that you have in it. So it's a really minor thing, but it looks really cool. So Bydey, meanwhile, not opting for the boom strats at all. So you get to see both approaches to that room.
Let's see what strategy Louis uses for the bomb jump coming up here.
Early bomb jump is so cool and looks so hard.
It looks like he did opt for early bomb jump, but he didn't pick it up at the right time, so he's going to have to go for the backup bomb.
That's going to be a pretty significant time loss.
Oh, and he failed.
Oh, and he failed it.
So
an even more significant time loss. So Bydey has a real opportunity here to get out in front.
Yeah. Luckily, though, Louis did have to mirror, so the bomb replenishments will be back.
Yeah, so he shouldn't net any bomb loss here, assuming he does opt to pick up the spare again, and he may not. But yeah, this shouldn't cost him any bombs, quote unquote. Bydey taking that dash very, very carefully, which is smart.
Yeah, Bydey actually purposely takes the stair leg there to make that bumper skip a little easier.
So no problem, second try bomb jump for Louis, but he is down to 1 heart. So we'll probably want to pick up a couple extras before he goes into the Moldorm fight. Speaking of the Moldorm fight, Bydey just finishing up. Pretty nice fight, actually, there. So yeah, also, Louis grabbing 2 hearts.
Yeah, Louis did get the arrow drop off the Kadongo as well, so he's sitting pretty. And yeah, also a very nice Mold-Arm fight from Bydey.
All right, we'll see how Louis finishes this fight up. Oh boy, oh, okay. Took one extra hit from Moldorm there. Made me a little bit nervous, but managed to clean it up, no problem. We'll see if Bydey picks up these spare arrows. Yep, he does. That's smart. Was sitting at 10, and there is no such thing as too many arrows. I think what is conventional wisdom is pick those up if you have, what, less than 13?
Yeah. I mean, you're okay far less than 13, but obviously, if you want to feel more comfortable, those arrows don't lose too much time. See if we get any unlucky bush guards coming up in this Lost Woods section.
So far, so good. And this will be a low 24 Master Sword. Yeah, 2402 Master Sword for Bydey. I feel pretty good about that. Still
Yeah,
behind
absolutely.
his PB, but again, Bydey really, really strong early game. So I imagine most runners would take a real low 24 Master Sword any day of the week.
Yeah, very close run so far.
And 24:35 for Louis. So what's the math on that? 33-second lead for Bydey currently. All courtesy of that failed bomb jump. That, by the way, is why I said I would rather do pod all of the times in a row over having to do Hera even once. Man, Hera is tough. It's just a hard dungeon.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely reiterate that because I swear every run that I do, something goes wrong in Hera every time.
And yeah, as Tanler is pointing out here in chat, Bydey in perfect shape in terms of pixel count. Pixel count? Rupee count.
Pixel
Weird.
count.
At 104 right now, and there are 6 free rupees here in Aga Tower, and they'll need to be at 110 to pay off Kiki here in just a few minutes. Louis, on the other hand, is filthy rich, so no worries whatsoever about rupees for him.
Yeah, Bydey did kind of a man-made, I don't even know what to call it, man-made strategy, but
oh no!
Yeah, he goes into that guard room with his sword tilted to the left instead of trying to poke it forward.
So, and I don't. So Bydey's strat for setting up the fairy skip did not. It went south. I don't know enough about the prize pack manipulation to know whether he's screwed in that regard or what.
I saw him get hit by the guards, but I didn't see the rest of it. Did he dash kill them or no?
I think he slash killed him and got a heart drop.
That's fine. That just means that he may get a fairy drop on the pod bridge. It's a 50-50 chance, so.
Okay. Oh! And Bydey fell there in the dark maze room.
Yeah, that's a costly fall because it takes forever to go back.
I was actually kind of curious. I think he had room to dash there. I'm not entirely sure why he tried to walk that last bridge out.
Maybe he thought he was too close to the edge of the pit. I'm not sure.
Or maybe he knows way better than I do and wasn't actually clear to try and dash it. Getting the rough RNG here in Circle of Pots, which is always annoying. It's hard to play this when that first guard comes right at you. But cleaned it up okay.
Yeah, Louis having some really good rooms at the end of Aga Tower here, making up some of that time loss. Mm-hmm.
Huh. Louis opting Okay, also getting the rough RNG. No problem with it. That was a masterclass in how to handle that room. Louis opting to kill one of the guards right before Circle of Pots with an arrow. That was kind of an interesting strategy there. I liked it, though.
So 28 minutes flat for Bydey for the Aghanim text. Let's see where Louis ends up.
Looks like 28:15. So yeah, just in this one segment, Louis has cut Bydey's lead in half. On to Aghanim now, and we'll see if the blue ball count plays much of a factor here. It often does.
Yeah, you want to watch Bydey's blue balls, and I'll watch Louis'?
Yeah. Well, Bydey's 0 for so far. And by that, I mean no blue balls. That was vaguely worded.
Got one blue ball for Louis.
Okay, there's Bydey's first. See if he can get away with just one. Yeah, okay, just one blue ball for Bydey, so he's got to be pretty happy about that fight.
Got 2 for Louis. All right, so it looks like 2 blue balls for Louis and 1 for Bydey. Not bad.
All right. Okay, so conversation in chat right now about holding the D-pad when dashing. I was actually talking to Greenham about this just yesterday, where when I started playing the game, I had a habit of always holding the D-pad in the direction of my dash. And then I started falling in Hera along that pit. And I could not for the life of me figure out why I was always falling in that pit. Because I see people all the time just dash right along the edge. And then someone pointed out to me that it was because I was holding the D-pad, and that's an instant dash cancel when you are along an edge like that. So I stopped holding the D-pad, and now I never do it. And Greenham and I were talking just yesterday about how 99% of the time, basically everywhere except for that pit in Hera, and then Fox is talking about during laser skip, it's actually beneficial to hold down the D-pad.
Yeah, along with the dash in Skullwoods too.
Yes. So now I'm going to need to get into an even different habit. There's a lot to know about playing this game, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, so much tech and so much movement to remember.
I really love, so Louis just now, Bydey did not use it, but I really love the menu to mirror right outside the entrance to Palace of Darkness. I really love using that opportunity to menu to the mirror. It just seems really so smart to me because it sets you up for the Kiki Dash perfectly.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, both runners in pot here. Basically, it's just a lot of key grabbing and bomb grabbing and mirroring for pretty much 3/4 of it.
Yeah, pot is a really confusing dungeon layout, made even more confusing by the fact that we just sort of reset it over and over and over again. Also has one of the best and most difficult skips, tricks, glitches, whatever in the run, hammer jump, which is going to be coming up pretty soon for Bydey, and then also shortly after that for Louis. I think it's the next one. Coming up here in just a minute. Essentially, hammer jump is 2 consecutive pixel perfect positionings, and lets you jump over a big pit and skip basically the entirety of 2 whole rooms.
I have never seen the right side
Me
of the
neither. That was
before.
wild. I was just thinking that too. I don't think I've ever seen anybody go right pot only. I see some people do both pots, but everyone starts on the left.
Yeah, I think, yeah, chat's definitely correct. I was just thinking he did it to preserve the prize pack and not kill
Oh yeah,
the mini
really
Helmosaur there.
smart. Really smart play from Bydey, and fortunately did not screw him up. Oh, Louis meanwhile failed his first attempt at hammer jump. So as I was mentioning, is it's a really difficult trick. It requires 2 pixel perfect positionings.
It's
And
gonna be
Louis
really
might be in a
close
little
to
bit of
the
trouble
bomb.
again. Oh, okay, cool.
Nice.
Wow. Louis left that until the very last possible second on his second attempt, but managed to get it no problem. So Bydey's hammer jump, not the prettiest thing I've ever seen. Did have a couple extra menu buffers in there, but thanks to an extra hammer jump attempt required by Louis, will be able to pad his lead a little bit.
So Bydey getting through mimics, he did get the legendary 10 arrow drop, and at that time Louis takes a fireball hit, so he's going to be at 6 hearts for Helmosaur.
Yeah, won't have beams. And this is an annoying place not to have beams, because this will require a couple extra menus from Louis. He'll need to switch to the boomerang or an arrow to hit the switch that Bydey just hit, because ideally you want to hit it with your beams.
Yeah, there's actually a couple. There's like 2 different strats that Louis could do in this room. He could try a diagonal boom, or he could actually just pull a bomb out and do the all dungeons strat too.
So Bydey cleaning up the turtle room there without any real trouble. Not a picture perfect turtle room, but better than having a turtle party. And on to Helmosaur. I have no idea what Bydey Turtles is, Fox. Can somebody tell me what the heck Bydey Turtles is?
Whoever says anything about Bydey Turtles is banned.
Oh, okay. Wait, but Fox is the one talking about it. We're on Fox's channel. We can't ban the streamer.
There's not nothing to do about that then. Bydey just has a goofy setup where he goes into the turtles room backwards, so you can't even see more than half the room, and it's really goof.
That is really strange.
Yeah, Bydey cleans up Helmosaur very nicely. We'll see how Louis does. He may opt to use. Yep, he does do the spin speed technique.
I really like the spin speed Helma strat. The more I think about it, the more I really like the idea of it, because it really does make that hammer hitbox so much larger. It makes it so much safer to play it this way.
Yep.
But I'm a big coward, and I still kill Helma with a sword, so it really serves me no purpose.
Hey, there's nothing cowardly about killing him with a sword. That boss is scary. Like, if I end up getting hit once, maybe twice, I just abandon all strats and just go for the sword.
All right, Bydey is now going to be playing with a little bit of a disadvantage. His daughter just walked into the room. So Bydey's going to have to speed run and parent at the same time.
Impossible. One thing about Palace of Darkness, too, is that the dungeon is deceptively harder when you run multiple categories. So as many categories as Louis does run, the routing changes so many different ways per category. So sometimes it's a little confusing.
That is very true, because you like to be able to rely on your muscle memory as much as you can for these kinds of runs, where there are so many decisions that have to be made in very, very quick succession. A lot of the time you can't really think about what you want to do, so you just have to let your hands do the thinking for you. Well, if you run a whole bunch of different categories, your hands aren't going to be terribly reliable, because they're not always going to want to do the same thing.
Yeah, and just another reason sometimes this game just does what it wants is Louis getting lottoed in the overworld.
Oh, did he really? Bydey almost had a little bit of trouble with his first hammer dash there. Went with most of the time, as you saw Louis just do, most of the time you'll see runners, when they first enter into the screen before the hammer dash, take a few steps downward and then nudge that first set of statues. it makes it a little bit easier to get into the hammer dash without having anybody in your way. Bydey did not do that, just dashed directly to the left instead of walking down, and cut it pretty close with one of the enemies on that screen, but managed to get out of it without any trouble. Setting up now for spin speed again, no problem there. That's a really important spin speed to get too, because some spin speeds you can, if you fail it the first time, you can say, well, screw it, it's not worth trying again, because it takes too long to set up a second attempt at arming spin speed. But that one's sort of mandatory, because if you don't have spin speed, you're going to get your butt kicked by Usain Bolt.
Yeah, he's pretty fast. He'll get you.
Louis similarly, no problems. I have Louis's audio on, and I'm pretty sure Louis blew the flute a couple screens early. I don't know if that was on purpose, and if it was, I have no idea what purpose it might serve.
Definitely on purpose. It's a secret of the pros trick.
Okay.
Just like book pumping.
Okay. I know folks do that deliberately to set up a spooky glitch in Ice Palace, but I wasn't sure if there was a memo I missed on a new spooky or not.
No, not at all. We just like the chime.
Who doesn't? Great music.
Yeah.
Hi, Scotty. Of course, you're very welcome. All right, so Bydey into the Thieves Town dungeon proper now. And I'm going to say this. Everyone in the room knows this, I'm sure, at this point. But Thieves Town is an interesting dungeon in that the boss fight here, Blind, is a scripted fight. Which means that if you are able to do your inputs exactly the same every single time, it is theoretically free. The rest of the dungeon, not so much. But the boss fight itself, if you cannot screw it up, which is not a gimme, should last a matter of a few seconds, and you never ever take any damage. But even really high level runners do not have that much good fortune all the time.
It's like Bydey used his menu buffer to bombs early in the Hellway to look at the bad RNG.
Oh, that's clever. Oh, no. Okay. Bydey taking a grasshopper hit from a particularly rowdy grasshopper there. That was frustrating.
Yeah, if you get that grasshopper RNG, you definitely want to sort it back to the left and not downward. Or just use the hammer to kill him.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't bother. Well, I guess he had already menued to bombs, though, so he couldn't.
Yeah, it probably just caught him off guard. I think he just changed to that menu buffer strategy.
It's a clever one. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody do that.
Yeah, there's a few runners who do. I'm pretty sure in Doom's last race, or maybe the one before, he did it.
But getting, I guess beams probably aren't that important to most runners at this point, but Bydey getting a heart drop there, and if he can manage not to take any more damage for the rest of this run, there's another free heart right before the boss fight, so he could have beams going into the blind fight, although I think some people prefer not having beams for blind.
Yeah, there's pros and cons. You could get an early last hit with beams for a faster blind kill, but also beams can be bad too, and just not allow you to get the hit when you want it to remain on script.
Yeah, the conveyor screen that Bydey just went through just a second ago is really the last place it's actively beneficial to have beams, because you notice there was that jellyfish sitting there floating in his way and was electrified. If you have beams, you can just get rid of it and not have to wait it out. Bydey instead had to wait it out, which is kind of annoying. All right, so Bydey on to the blind fight now. This is a three phase long fight, and Bydey will be attempting to do very precise movement to keep the fight on script. So 2 phases down, Uh-oh. Okay. Did get off script there at the very end, but cleaned it up, no problem. So minimal time loss and no loss of life, which is the real important part.
Looks like 42-54 crystal catch from Bydey.
Louis now on to the third phase himself. And no problem with the script. So a little bit quicker a blind fight. But again, pretty negligible difference. Maybe a second or two. I say a second or two like it's not a massive amount of time in a game like this.
It looks like Louis is behind maybe by about 30 seconds or so not too bad.
Still plenty of stuff coming up that can really make or break either of these runs. Bydey currently robbing someone's home.
Yeah, just going through town, throwing bombs at houses. Jeez.
I mean, you know, it seems like kind of a mean thing to do, just destroying people's property and stealing all their money. But it's also in the service of saving the world. So, like, it evens out,
Yeah,
right?
I'd say that, sure.
Okay, maybe no one lives there, Fox, but it still belongs to somebody. Nobody lives in your car, but you still wouldn't want someone to blow it up.
And take your change.
I mean, unless somebody does live in your car, you know, whatever. That's like a thing right now, is people like doing the van life. Which honestly, man, that sounds like fun. Like
living in a van down by the river.
I've got a 2-year-old, so I can't very well do that. But in a different world, oh yeah, I totally live in a van. It'd be sweet. Just drive around the country all the time. A friend of mine who I went to high school with, that's what she does now. She bought like a big pickup truck and an RV that she hooked up to the back of it, and she has a job that she can work remotely, and that's what she does like for 3 years now, or at least maybe a little bit more. Oh, Bydey not even bother trying fence dash. Coward. I kid. Fence dash is one of my favorite meme things in the run. But if you're not super confident with it, not a bad idea to just skip it, because if you do fail fence dash and you get the bonk, that is an annoying little bit of time loss. Anyway, back to what I was saying, which is far more important than the run. Friend of mine bought a pickup truck, bought an RV, and has spent like the last 3 years just driving around the country. And I think they love it. Like, I think they kind of want to do it forever. And I don't really blame them. It sounds great. They have like an Instagram account they set up, and every now and then they'll just post like, hey, I'm at the Grand Canyon this week. Next week, I'll be at, I don't know, some mountain or some waterfall. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm in Kansas like I have been for the rest of my life. Anyway, Bydey taken one shot from one of the mummies during the mummy statue room there, but otherwise got through it unscathed. There was a fairy that popped out of that bush, which is not a terribly uncommon thing. I don't know, since we have been sort of discussing Bydey's prize pack situation, I don't know if that fairy has any lasting impact whatsoever on drops later on.
No, that's just a fairy bush. It's
okay,
cool.
Part.
Yeah, it's not part of the prize pack that we're preserving from Turtle Rock.
Louis similarly, no problems whatsoever in the mummy statue room.
With that being said, though, I think most top level runners would avoid getting that fairy because you do not want to have beams for the mummy key or for Mothula. They're really bad.
Interesting. I didn't know that they were actively problematic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I could see how they would be, especially for the mummy key, because that could knock that mummy right off the spike.
Yeah, plus like your beam damage can override your sword damage, and the beam damage is only fighter sword damage. So
Yeah, see, I'm a scrub, and I still kill that. I kill that mummy with a fire rod shot because I can never get him onto the spike right. Speaking of, Bydey, no problem. Excellent, excellent spiked mummy.
Yeah, for that
And
mummy, a lot of runners will actually menu buffer to the mirror too to make sure they're in the right placement for it.
oh, that's clever. Louis got the annoyingly bad RNG with the fire snake there at the beginning of the entrance to the Skullwoods dungeon proper. So lost a little bit of time there. Meanwhile, Bydey, really nice Moth fight. Moth is a fight that can either be really, really simple and really, really fast, or it can get drawn out and become very dangerous very quickly. Runners will open the fight attempting to get 2 pokes worth of damage. All it takes is 4. You just have to hit Moth with your sword 4 times, and that's it. And you can get 2 of those hits out of the way really, really early. And then after that, you're kind of at the mercy of the Moth movement RNG a little bit. But Louis similarly, no real problems there. Maybe a little bit slower than Bydey's, but
Yeah, you try to go
did
for
not
that
drag out.
the final hit with a poke, and just was just a little bit too far away from Othula. I'm not sure if it was because of the conveyor or not, but Louis definitely closing the gap here. He had some very, very clean rooms at the end of Skullwoods.
Which is kind of what you expect to see. Bydey's in the lead right now, but that's only because of some pretty big mistakes on Louis' part. Now Bydey is also playing well. He is behind his PB, but is not super far behind his PB. So having a good run. But Louis is on paper the better player. So that's the kind of thing you expect to see is little optimizations here and there, sort of like we were talking about earlier. Where the gap just shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. So we'll see if that trend continues, and if it does continue, does Louis have enough time left to shrink it all the way to 0? We'll find out, I suppose, next time on Dragon Ball Z.
So you saw Bydey had kind of a different dash there up to the Moblin screen. That's actually a really nice dash because it takes away the Moblin movement RNG because you're spawning the Moblins later. So that's a nice safe dash.
I didn't know that's what that was for. I assumed it was sort of a guaranteed not to get lottoed.
Well, the lotto screen, you can actually dash up through the top bush there, which actually both players did.
We just did the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's you don't see that too often. I mean, Louis may have done that out of muscle memory because he's running so much low percent, and that is a low percent strat. But maybe with all the bad luck that Louis is getting, he's like, yeah, I'm not going to get lottoed again. I'm just going to dash through the bush.
Very interesting. Well, and Bydey has been running a little bit of non-NMG stuff, I think, with you, right? Or was that mostly NMG?
I think kind of everything, sort of.
Okay. So Bydey currently paying off the King Zora to buy some flippers so that he can do some proper swimming instead of just doing fake flippers everywhere, because fake flippers doesn't work everywhere. And I'm sorry, but 500 rupees for a pair of flippers, I don't care what the exchange rate is, that is extortion. That is way too much money for flippers.
Yeah. Especially when we only paid $10 to get a new sword.
Right? Exactly. I don't know. Stuff seems backwards in Hyrule, man. Bydey getting really good RNG there on that last screen before the warp. No crabs in his way whatsoever, so is going to be walking into the actual dungeon in Ice Palace with full health and didn't really need to lose any time ensuring that he kept it. Because a lot of the times you'll see runners have to do quite a bit of dancing around to make sure that they don't lose any hearts here on this specific screen. Another kind of interesting strat from Louis.
I have never seen that before.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't imagine that's a low percent thing or anything like that, because there's no real benefit to doing that differently. But it worked out to make sure he didn't lose any health, so that was cool.
I didn't quite see where the Zora was, so he may have only done that strat because he had a bad Zora that he had to wait for. So maybe that's why he went around.
Okay, this is kind of cool. Bydey goes with the 1 bomb strat in that previous room, which means that when he gets to the Hellway, he is going to need to take just a second to hit the crystal switch at the top of the room, here in this room right here. Most high-level runners will drop 2 bombs. I imagine we'll see Louis do it here in a minute. And that basically just sets it up so that you do not have to hit the switch. You can dash all the way through the Hellway without needing to worry about it.
Ooh,
but it is a little bit more
jelly.
difficult a setup.
It's like Louis took 2 hits from the jelly RNG there.
So yeah, the optimal setup there with the 2 bombs is a little bit more difficult because it's a little bit more dependent on timing. So maybe that's just not something Bydey ever bothers with. Maybe it's just not something Bydey felt like bothering with today. I'm not sure.
No, he typically does 1 bomb in that room.
Okay. All right, both runners with no problem on the Ice Palace bomb jump, as expected from their skill level. That usually goes off without a hitch.
Bydey has actually quite an interesting cold stare. As you'll see here, he actually splits away and doesn't do all 8 rod shots and purposely clinks his sword before the ice shield goes away. So we'll see how this goes.
Interesting. Huh. Well, that's cool. So yeah, so Bydey with 7 shots on the left, and then moves out of the way to avoid getting hit by the falling, I guess icicle is what those are, and then fires the last shot on the right, and then yeah, the sword clink right before the ice shell disappears. I imagine as a timing thing, to ensure that his sword gets charged at the right time to release his spin, and get cold stare up into the corner. That's interesting. I've never seen anybody else do it like that.
Yeah, Louis with a very clean double poke.
Yeah, meanwhile, Louis with basically a perfect cold stare fight. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see. You want to try and get cold stare up into the top right corner of the room, because cold stare is 3 separate eyeball puffs. And if you can keep all 3 of them up in the top right corner, the fight's a lot less dangerous and a lot faster. It's kind of a very common refrain for boss fights in this game is the faster you can kill them, the less dangerous they are. So you want to fight most boss fights very aggressively to try and end them quick, and cold stare is no exception. All right, Bydey doing his shopping right now, which is pretty much as expected.
Chopping?
Or well, yeah, yes, getting ether at least.
I want to say Bydey. Yeah, I believe Bydey gets both ether and ice rod in the swamp segment here. While Louis may just get ether, so we might have a time divergence.
Wait, okay. I'm showing my inexperience and lack of knowledge here. Does not everybody call it shopping? Is that what?
Well, we actually spend money when we go shopping, and we're just gathering items here, so I guess it's not really shopping.
Okay, I've always I've always been told that it's the shopping trip. That's what I was taught.
Hashtag blame Greenham. I
guess. And you are right. Bydey is getting the ice rod here. So we'll see if Louis does the same or not.
And I know ice rod is about an additional 40 seconds, so
yes, yeah. There you go. I like that. We'll replace shopping with mandatory out of the way item acquisition portion of the run. That's definitely a better term, Sirius. And Louis does not get the ice rod here. So it is going to appear that Louis is in the lead right now. But whatever Louis's lead is, subtract somewhere between 35 and 40 seconds from it. And that will be more accurate. And we will have a better idea for what the actual lead is and whoever is holding it after Louis collects the ice rod, which maybe right after this. Well, no, is almost certainly not after this. Will probably be after the next dungeon, Misery Mire.
Louis getting the spicy anti-fairy skip.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a really difficult strat, is to start your dash immediately after finishing the lever pull so that you can get a really, really quick exit out of the room. Really hard to do, but I see a lot of folks go for it. And most people I know who go for it pull it off every time. And they make it look a lot simpler than it is.
Yeah, it is pretty tough. I think one of the main things about that room is not really letting go of A, so you can snap to the lever switch and pull it down quicker.
Bydey picking up a bomb there. Picked up one extra pot right above the key that he needed to snag himself a bomb, which was smart. I didn't even know there was a bomb there.
Oh yeah, it's nice to have a bomb here. It's kind of like I guess a safety, just in case spooky goes wrong.
Very true. Yeah, always. I say there's no such thing as too many arrows. You can't have too many bombs. Kinda. If you're wanting to bother with menu optimization stuff in Ganon's Tower, then you don't want too many bombs because they take too long to drop. But never a bad idea to have at least two. Put it that way. Especially like you say in Mire, there's a spooky glitch that allows you to forego using one bomb, but in case that glitch doesn't go off well, it's nice to have one more than you strictly need.
Yeah, for sure, because there's only really one spot to get a bomb drop, and that's from the slug in Mire, so that's either a mirror or a lot of backtracking if you don't have one.
Mm-hmm. And so Swamp Palace, we're both runners well into Swamp Palace now. Fricker, you and I have talked about this before, and I've actually stolen your terminology every time since I have talked about this. Swamp Palace is kind of a hard dungeon, not because there's a lot of potential for it to kill you, but because there's a lot of nickel and diming, and that's the exact term you use when I first spoke to you about it, and I love it, and that's always how I explain it now, because there's just tons of enemies that have tons of unpredictable movement. So it's sort of a foregone conclusion that you're going to lose a lot of health here. And every time you get hit is just a little bit more time lost. And that's always frustrating. So,
oh my. I don't know if you saw that, but Bydey went for the up dash on the block push.
Mm-hmm.
What a gamer. So he was actually clear there just to dash straight up, but he did a down step just in case that enemy did a late spawn. But yeah, you don't really see that strat anywhere.
Yeah, I think the only other time I've ever seen somebody do that where they walked above the block was actually in the Germensch tournament. It was a German runner who I had never heard of, and Bydey with an unnecessary hammer dash there. I love unnecessary hammer dashes. But I saw someone do that in the Germensch tournament, and I'd never seen it before. And yeah, I love it. I love the going above the block there.
Yeah, going above the block is actually optimal. It does save time, but
really?
you can get bad enemy spawns that can hit you out of your dash there, so it's not consistent at all. But yeah, just to reiterate what you were saying before, very accurate about this dungeon. It's supposed to be the second dungeon, so you don't get a lot of damage taken, but there are a lot of really bad RNGs. Like, for instance, my last run, I went from full hearts to 2.5 hearts before Argus, just due to bad RNG. I got hit by literally everything.
All right, Bydey skipping hearts and bombs and arrows in that room. Smartly so. He's got 2 bombs. He's full on arrows, and he has plenty of health. So that's a little bit of a time save there, not needing to pick up any pots. Meanwhile, Louis is gonna get the 0 cycle Argus. This will be a really nice quick Argus fight. assuming he gets the quick kill, and he does. Basically, a
That
perfect
was,
Argus fight.
yeah, the miss menu from Louis there made that quick kill very, very close.
Oh, I think Bydey's gonna miss the zero cycle. That's frustrating.
Oh yikes! Yeah, he was down to one hit before death, and he actually started moving above Argus there, which is very, very bad. Don't do that.
So Bydey with a much slower Argus, and that is a really big difference. He did not bother going for the quick kill, which is probably smart. If you miss a zero cycle, your rhythm's going to be kind of thrown off, and that quick kill there with the fire rod is not a guaranteed thing. So probably smart of him to just go ahead and hit him with the 2 spins. But again, it appears that Louis is in the lead right now, and I'm sure Louis made up some time there, in the swamp dungeon. But unless he made up a full 40 seconds and change, I can't remember what the actual lead was. Bydey is likely still ahead by at least a little bit.
Yeah, Bydey's in the lead just by a little bit, but Louis made up quite a bit of ground there in Swamp Palace with very clean rooms and the zero cycle Argus with the quick kill.
Yeah, that was a gorgeous Argus. And we are on our way to Misery Mire.
Yay!
Mire's a hard dungeon.
Yeah, it can be. To be honest with you, Mire's probably one of the more consistent and easier dungeons for I guess for top level play. It's all pretty straightforward.
Just starting with the room that Louis is in right now. This is the second room in Mire. They call it Mire 2. Go figure. Really, really hard to do what Louis just did is finish that room off quickly, but very, very important to do it. The strategy there has you killing all the enemies as fast as possible because, I mean, you want to kill all the enemies as fast as possible because it's a speed run. You want to do everything as fast as possible. But the Wizrobes in that room will spawn and despawn, and if you do not kill them on the very first spawn, you have to just sit around and wait for them. And that's a huge time loss and very, very frustrating if you can't get it. Now, most top level runners can do it in their sleep, I imagine. But first learning that room and optimizing it and getting it quick is not an easy feat. Bydey and Louis both, no problem with it though.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, I want to say most people have said that Mire 2 is probably their favorite room in the game, or the most fun room to do.
I believe that, yeah. Because it's something that presents a challenge. You get to do a lot of real cool inputs real fast. Oh, Bydey with this. Wow, really nice gameplay just in that room there. Bydey with the low dash on purpose to avoid the slug. And then narrowly avoiding a laser beam to the face, and then use a fire rod to kill the last enemy that was in his way of a pot that he needed to pick up. Really good gameplay there. Made a lot of decisions very, very quickly. That was impressive. Mummy Hellway is also a very good choice, Fox. I like Mummy Hellway a lot. Looks like Louis is going for the Spark Gamble.
Yeah, it gets the bad D-boost there.
Yeah.
Or the knockback, I should say. I don't think Bydey goes for Spark Gamble, so we'll see him dashing on the right side.
Okay, so Louis, a little bit of trouble, just a tiny bit of trouble getting the big chest there. Fricker, can you talk about, because I don't understand it nearly well enough, can you talk about like chest sliding and how it works?
Yeah, I mean, chest sliding and chest turning obviously are two different things, but basically if you press a direction away from the chest, the same frame that you're opening it, you'll slide or you'll do like a turn. So obviously movement-wise, it can save a little bit of time if you slide along with the chest toward where you need to go. So a lot of top runners will do that, whether it's a chest or a pot that they're grabbing.
Gotcha. Thank you. Because you see, folks, that's a really easy one to to see people perform that that sort of mechanic on, because it is such a big chest. And I have no idea how it works. So I always watch people do it and think, well, that's cool. Meantime, Louis is 3 for 3 on spooky glitches, so that's nice. No time lost there thanks to that glitch. Bydey is on to spooky 2 right now. Nailed it. Oh, wait, no, that was spooky 1. I'm silly. That's spooky 2. There you go.
It's like Louis just finishing up Vitreous. Very, very clean fight with a 0 cycle.
Yeah, Vitreous is usually no problem whatsoever. I guess you could call Vitreous a scripted fight in the sense that if you do the exact same movements, you should get the 0 cycle every time, although there is some RNG with how the little eyeballs move. But if you ever mess up any of your movement there, because you are taking mandatory damage walking around in Vitreous's goo, Vidi can get pretty dangerous. It's not uncommon, even for high-level runners, to take a death in Vitreous, which is devastating because it takes quite a while to get back to that point. Alternatively, if people are going to play it really, really safe and desperately do not want to take a death, you end up just standing in the bottom corner of the room waiting for these eyeballs to float to you so that you can kill them, and it takes literally forever. So really important to get the 0 cycle Vidi anytime you can.
Yeah, for sure. So Louis gonna split off and get his Ice Rod. We'll see if both runs converge on the landing to Death Mountain here as they both go towards Turtle Rock.
I imagine Bydey probably still in the lead, but
it's gonna be close.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be quite a bit closer than it was before the runs diverged. Because I think Louis had a cleaner Swamp and Mire both than Bydey did. Not that Bydey's either one of those dungeons were bad. Bydey played both of those dungeons pretty well, actually. But Louis playing very well.
Looks to be about a 10-second difference that Louis is behind, so he definitely closed the gap pretty quick.
Yeah. Coming up on a couple of really tough dungeons with plenty of opportunity for either runner to lose a lot of time. Which, makes sense. We're getting close to the end of the game. The dungeons are going to be hard.
Yeah, definitely. And Turtle Rock can basically separate the runners just depending on, if they get the fairy drop and, where it is. Because they can definitely save time in Turtle Rock to have the beams. Bad chomps, RNG, things like that.
Well, and like, for instance, Bydey right now did not bother with the hook speed on these pegs, so it took probably a little bit longer than it's going to take Louis, to knock all 3 of these pegs down. So little things like that will end up making a difference. But yeah, the Chomps Room, double pokies, laser skip, lots and lots of things in Turtle Rock that can be, really big differences. Not even small, like, half a second here, half a second there differences. You could see the entire lead go away or balloon up, depending on how one room goes.
Yeah, it looks to be about a 9-second difference right now. So Louis made up a little bit of time on the T-Rock pegs.
The bonk over the fire snake, I think, is a rando strat. I see a lot of folks do that who are rando runners. I like that strat. I know Fox particularly hates it, though. All right, Bydey, no problem with the roller room there. That's one that can get people... Oh, no!
Oh, no,
it can get people sometimes, like it just got Louis. So that'll cost Louis some time, and yeah.
Oh my god, that was so close.
Oh boy, okay. So Louis played that, well, I was going to say, did he play it safe, or was that sort of a mandatory? I can't remember how much. I think they do enough damage that it would have just killed him, right?
Yeah, that roller would have killed him. It was 4 hard, but Louis might have saved a little bit more time to just mirror from the key, but...
Yeah, that may have been worth it to do the mirror. Bydey did get the fairy drop, which ended up being extremely helpful because chomps were not very nice. So got him once. So he's already 4 hearts down from his fairy pickup. But that's why people try and save the fairy for that room, because chomps can be pretty unforgiving.
And even if Louis gets a later fairy drop, he actually just might opt not to get it, depending on. Oh, Bydey
Oh,
taking a
boy.
small hit.
Bydey lucked out a little bit there with that pokey. Wasn't able to kill the pokey on the very first spin. Had to take a couple extra whacks at him, and barely managed to get the pokey killed before the bunny beam got to him.
Oh, nice fairy setup for Louis there, right at the door for him. Bydey is in a very scary position right now because he's got some very tough rooms up ahead, and he's got no more health coming to him. While Louis gets the fairy drop and taking a hit from the pokey.
Oof, yeah. So Bydey down to 2 and then now 3 hearts. Got an extra heart out of that pot. So yeah, Bydey's gonna want to play this really carefully because a death in Turtle Rock can be pretty devastating. Meanwhile, Louis at full health still.
Yeah, Louis might pull ahead here just by having beams in this roller room.
That's true. Bydey going with the bonk strat, as we were discussing just a little bit ago. Fox, you got a real bot problem. Okay,
Yeah.
so Bydey is gonna go ahead and take this heart of damage.
He actually does kind of a different setup for laser skip too. He's actually gonna hit the beetle off, and then he's gonna swing and hold his sword to the left as he drops down to get the laser skip pixel. So we'll see how this goes for him.
Interesting. Okay. I saw a race I was doing comms for yesterday with a runner named One Up. Oh, there you go. That's cool. That's a cool setup. With a runner named One Up, walked the laser skip. Oh no, and Bydey with a fall. Ooh, that's not great. Down to 1 heart, which
Yeah, he's got to be very careful here in this room.
at least he had 2, I guess. Oh, and Bydey just missed out on a 10 arrow drop too, which he could have used the arrows. Oh, Louis having some trouble in this room.
This room is just terrible.
Yeah. That, what is that called? The peg maze room, I think.
Yeah.
If that room doesn't go exactly according to plan, it usually goes really badly. There's no like, well, that was okay. It's either fine or it's a disaster, it seems like. Okay, so Bydey going into the last phase of Trinex. We'll see if he goes for the quick kill or if he plays it really safe, because it's possible to get your butt kicked by Trinex if you... Oh, goodness gracious. Okay.
Oh my god.
My gosh. Dude.
Oh my, that is literally as close as you can possibly get to not dying right there. That had to be like 1 pixel away.
Oh man, I just had a heart attack. Okay, well.
We gotta run here.
Oh man. All right, yeah, no problem. I knew it all along. Never a doubt in my mind that he was gonna finish it off.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's possible that he frame ruled the damage there.
Oh boy. Okay, so Bydey still in the lead by the grace of God. But Louis gonna be hot on his heels, and Ganon's Tower is a very difficult dungeon, which makes sense. It is designed to be the final dungeon of the game, and it's kind of a sort of final exam of all of the mechanics and strats and items that you've collected and learned over the course of playing the entire game. So it's a really good way for runners to showcase all of their different skill sets.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I'm trying to look here. So in their PBs, and again, this doesn't mean everything, but in their PBs, Louis does this dungeon in 7 minutes and 6 seconds, which is a really, really nice time. Bydey, meanwhile, 7:25. So Louis quite a bit faster. 7:25 also a really good time. Anything under 8 minutes is excellent as far as I'm concerned. But Louis significantly faster in this dungeon. Not necessarily on average, but at their best.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like Bydey opts to go for the torch key, while Louis does not.
Louis hookshotted the wrong direction, I'm gonna guess. I doubt that was a deliberate enemy kill.
No, it was not on purpose. Or maybe it was. He was just like, you know what? I don't like this guy. He needs to go right now.
Screw that guy in particular. Well, yeah, serious. I kind of wondered maybe if he knew that there was going to be an arrow drop there, and he just really wanted them, because I don't understand prize packs nearly well enough to tell people that they're wrong when it comes to prize packs, and it really seems like some people know exactly what the prize pack is going to be.
Louis going for the fast block, push, and hook. He's trying to make up this the 7 seconds here.
Mm-hmm. Bydey does this maze a little bit differently than most folks. In one of the rooms, avoided a warp tile that most people take in favor of getting a different one that then lets him skip over a warp tile later. I bet that's not any kind of time difference at all. It's just contrary to how I see most people do that room. All right, we are getting into Armos just a few seconds apart, and Armos is one that can go badly if it doesn't go well, and no problem whatsoever for Bydey there.
I like Bydey's double slash to give him timing to dash into this door.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, no problem for Louis either. Both of them opting to get the arrow pickup, which is smart.
Yeah, this is a really tight race here. It may just come down to Gauntlet RNG and everything else towards the end.
I mean, yeah, this may end up coming down to Ganon warps for all we know. Bydey having a little bit of trouble with mimics. Oh, this is frustrating.
Yeah, Louis getting through Mimics 1 flawlessly. They're literally almost...
Yeah, we're basically tied now.
Oh, baby. We got a race.
Now, I have gameplay synced up. It is worth noting that I have on the timer Louis about 1 second ahead of Bydey. Oh boy!
Oh no,
man! Bydey just about took a fall there on Ganon Ball Z, which would have been really not ideal. Yeah, we'll see how the Gauntlet RNG treats both of these runners. That may end up being a big difference.
They are still frames apart here going into Gauntlet 2.
Like oh, Gauntlet 2 much easier for Bydey.
Oh, taking a Zazak hit in Gauntlet 3 from Bydey. And Louis having a little bit of trouble too with that RNG.
Ooh. Oh my gosh, this is stressing me out. Gauntlet 4 was not the nicest thing in the world to Bydey, but the first 3, or I guess 2 and 3 especially, were much easier for Bydey than they were for Louis, so that separated a little bit. And Bydey gonna get the 1 cycle Landmo too, which is great.
Oh, Louis gets the left.
Louis not gonna get it.
It's gonna put
looks like he just had a fire rod in the wrong direction.
Louis opted to get the magic, which was
yeah, I think maybe he had 1 extra fire rod, so he just wanted to be sure that he'd have enough for the torches later.
I'm pretty sure he had enough magic without that power.
Did he? Okay.
Unless he grabbed the magic, maybe to get a faster fire rod at the end of Torches 1, so he didn't have to.
Oh yeah, maybe. So he doesn't need. Oh, Bydey having a little bit of trouble with that last torch, or I guess second to last torch. Oh boy.
Yeah, Louis is just going to be able to fire the rod here. Yeah, a little bit faster Torches 1 from Louis.
Yeah. So yeah, just picking up 1 pot so that he doesn't have to pick up a different one.
Ooh, Louis closing the gap real quick here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, missed a fire rod though. But yeah, it's gonna be really, really close. That's an interesting strat from Bydey, throwing the bomb really late. And Bydey, because he got the torch key earlier, does not need to get that key. Although I tell you what, I don't know that Bydey got through that room any faster than he would have if he had gotten the key.
Oh my, Bydey's gonna have to hit Moldorm an extra time here.
Yep. Got through it okay. That was real close to just falling off the platform, though, so I will take having to hit Moldorm 3 times over having to do the Moldorm fight twice.
This race is killing me here, man.
Oh, and I think Louis might be ahead now purely because Bydey had a bonk.
Yeah, it's pretty close. My screen, they're pretty much frame for frame.
Oh, geez, this game. All right, so we'll see how many cycles this Aga 2 fight takes each runner. If somebody can get a 2 cycle, that would be real big. Bydey not even bothering with the triple. Oh. Okay, Bydey's going to be at least 3 cycles here.
Yeah, Louis was having a little bit of trouble as well. I think he's on his 4th cycle, the same as Bydey.
Yeah.
Oh, taking a hit.
And Bydey 0 for 3 on the 4th cycle. He's going to need a 5th.
Looks like they clean up. Oh, yeah, Bydey's going to have an extra cycle here. Louis pulling ahead.
Oh, man. Not good Aga 2 fights for either runner, but even worse for Bydey. So Louis is going to be going into the Ganon fight, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 seconds ahead.
Yeah, it could definitely come down to Ganon warps here.
Yeah,
sure.
I'll let you know back crash time, or I guess landing time. So, all right, 124.37. 124.44. So yeah, 7 seconds difference right now. So this will come down to warps most likely.
As a quick reminder, Bydey cannot take a bad hit.
Ooh, yeah, Bydey real low on health right now.
Like Louis cleaning up the 1-1 very nicely.
Oh boy, okay.
Louis getting all the warps right now. He's at 4.
There's just 1 so far for Bydey, I think.
Good lord, he's got like 7 warps on it already.
2, 3. 3 warps so far for Bydey. He's going into the last. All right, there's the last hit on the 3rd phase for Bydey.
I still think Louis is just slightly ahead here.
Yeah, Louis is slightly ahead. So, oh no, and Bydey missed torch glitch.
Oh no, Bydey, no, dude.
So Louis with a comfortable advantage right now, thanks to that.
I can't even say anything about torch glitch.
Oh man. What a race. That's got to be crushing, though, to miss that.
Yeah, it's definitely very...
All right, there you go. There's Louis finishing it off. GG to Louis. This will be a mid 126. Wow.
Yeah, that missed torch glitch may have cost him the win. It was very, very
Yeah,
close.
I think Louis probably had it because, to the best of my... As far as I could see, Louis did not miss any spins. So going into the final phase of Ganon for Louis probably sealed it because he was able to get through that last phase completely cleanly. But yeah, the torch glitch is certainly going to end up making it seem a much larger margin of victory than realistically it was.
Yeah, there's been quite a bit of... Ooh,
Bydey down to half a heart here.
I've probably seen like 6
there we
or
go.
7 people miss torch glitch so far this tournament.
Oh boy. Wow. What a race.
Yeah, GG's to Bydey finishing it out strong.
All right, so I've got 127.27, and 126.32 on each runner's splits. Oh boy. Well, that was something. Do we have let's see, do we have the runners in whatever Discord we're in right now for interviews if they want to do them? Man, that was something.
Yo, what's up,
Yo.
guys?
Hey, Bydey.
GG, Bydey.
Man, that torch glitch.
Yeah, I had to go for it. I don't go for it. I actually never. It's not something I ever do, but I knew I
Oh,
had
you
to.
don't- Do you not usually
No.
bother with the
I
fire
never
rod
do
setup?
fire rod, but I had to
Mm.
because I knew how close I was. So
Yeah, you guys were neck and neck, literally.
Yeah.
Just, it was an amazing race.
yeah, it was good. I lost it at Aga 2, to be honest. That's where I lost it. That's where I lost it, I think.
Yeah, well, Louis'
I like
Aga
a
2 was not
six-cycle.
much cleaner.
Yeah.
I think you had 6 cycles, something
Yeah,
like
I
that
had a
on Aga 2.
six-cycle.
And Louis had a 5. And then Louis had a few more warps on the third phase again, and then you did.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did end up going into the fourth phase a little bit ahead. So I think you're right. You would have had to have gotten the fire rod torch glitch set up for it to come out. But whew,
Yeah, but
what a
GG's to Louis,
race.
man. It was good fun. It was a good race.
Yeah, that was something else.
That was really good fun. So
So I gotta ask you, the Trinex right at the end there.
Oh my god.
I want to know your thoughts.
what on what part?
Right at the end on the double spin, where somehow you didn't take a hit when you moved up to do the last slash.
Oh, I always do my. Yeah, I always do that. It looks dodgy, but you only have to move like 1 pixel or a few pixels up, and he won't hit you. I know it looks dodgy, but I guess 'cause when he's low like that, like when he kind of is really, really low, I like being right in the corner of him so that I bounce way out to the left because I don't like getting trapped. I guess so. And I didn't want to die either. That was the thing. I was already down at 2 hearts, and I just didn't want to die basically.
So
Well,
were you watching Restream the entire race, Bydey?
Yeah, I was watching Louis. I wasn't watching the restream, but I was watching like Louis' stream, so I knew where I was and where the match was at the whole time. So
Oh yeah, that Trinex had me clenching. That was man.
Yeah,
If that's
it
how
was
you
very scary.
always do it, oh boy.
yeah, I guess maybe it does. That didn't really seem dodgy to me.
It
but
was
maybe I'll
close.
need to revisit.
It was
Maybe I need to
really
revisit
close.
that, but it didn't seem any different than what I usually do if he's down that low. So maybe I'll have another look at it. But
the Argus fight, is the 0 cycle usually no problem for you, or is that something you recently added in?
nah, it's a 50-50 for me. I go
Okay.
for it because it's free to go for now because I know how the backup goes. But yeah, it's about a 50-50. Probably I'd say maybe even a bit less, but
Because it's tough. It's not
Yeah.
a given.
it's one of those things. Once you get the feel for it, like it gets easier, but it's not easy because I mean it's not guaranteed. You get aggros that are really fast, and there's nothing you can do about it. But
Yeah.
once you basically, it's one of those time things. You just practice and practice, and there's guys who nail it every run, and I don't know how they're that consistent with it, but that just goes to show the amount of time that they've put into the fight. So
Yep. Well, awesome. GG to you. GG to Louis, who we do not have in voice, I don't think. So, any final thoughts from you, man?
it was good fun. It was a good race. I don't know if like it seemed like I was nervous or not, but like there was no nerves today at all. It was just straight up. That's how it was. I made mistakes. Louis, my Eastern Palace was horrendous.
Yeah, the Eastern
and then he failed bomb jump, and then I was ahead, and then like we were both making mistakes along the way. So,
yeah,
I
Bydey,
don't know. Sorry,
we're being
sorry.
asked to mash through the credits
Sure.
so we can get file names. Yeah, jeez. Yeah, the
I don't, I
Eastern.
don't, I don't think either of us would be happy with how it went. Really, if it was a PB run, like there was so many like mistakes from both of us, especially with him being a 124 runner.
Yeah. Well, Louis was having a really nice light world until Hera, which I feel like is something that people say at least 5 times a day.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
thought that he was gonna just steamroll me, and I knew he was gonna have to make a major mistake at that point. And then I saw him go down, and then yeah, I just put the foot down as much as I could. I kind of got back into my zone right through. I didn't really lose all that much time.
Yeah.
Tower, I fell off the hole, which cost me. There was lots of little things that cost me the race. Like I fell down that hole on Aga Tower, which was one thing, which lost me some time. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah.
And so that probably lost me 7 seconds
Well,
there.
I actually, yeah, I
Um,
wondered about that because it looked to me like you had a clean setup to dash through that last platform in Aga Tower, and you walked it and then ended up falling.
Yeah, I don't know
Not have
why.
room
One of
for the
those
dash.
things. I don't know. You're in the race and you're like, ooh, I don't know why. I saw him up my ass and I was like,
Right,
if I
right.
dash, I didn't want to get hit, so I walked. And then when I started walking in my head, I'm like, if I dash, I'm just gonna lose time. So I'm like, okay, I'll
Right.
walk the room out. And then I forgot there was a guard there. I'm like, as soon as I saw him, I'm like, shit, I'm down. I'm down. And then I went down. I was like, and then I laughed. I was like, yeah, that was my fault. And then TR, I didn't really do well in TR. I missed both pokies. That cost me a
Yeah.
fair bit of
Yeah,
time
you
as
were
well.
really low on health for quite a bit of TR. You had the fall after picking up the chest in laser skip.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I feel
fell
like
as
I'm
well,
just I
yeah.
feel like I'm just going over all of the worst parts of the run. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, that's fine. That's what you do as a speedrunner. You critique the worst parts because, yeah, that's the bits you gotta. And it's one of those things. I did it yesterday at a run yesterday, which obviously PB, but I got in Ganon's tower and I fell down a hole. I've never fallen down in my life. I've never seen anyone fall down where I fell down.
Hmm.
It's just one of those things. It's just it happened. But I'll be excited to look back at the VODs. Like it's GG's to Louis. Like he being behind and then just kept the foot down. Like that's what I always try to say to people. I think you never give up. You make a mistake, you get back on, you go, because you just never know what's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
I'll be interested to watch it back and see how it flip flopped and where we all lost in game time. So it was a really good race. All of my races are always close. Like it was the same with Fox. He did the exact same thing to me. I was ahead coming into GT, and then he overtook me in AGA 2 and beat me by a few seconds. And it looks like the same thing would have happened if I hadn't a full torch glitch. So I think he would have closed it out anyways. I have
Yeah.
faith in him to close it out. He's got a much better Ganon than I will ever have. So
Yeah, Louis was playing from behind for the majority of the run, it seemed like, and that was sort of how it went. Was he would, catch up in little bits and pieces, and then had a couple of times where something went wrong, so you were able to widen the gap, and then just kept on creeping up on you. Made for a really, really good race.
yeah, and I mean that's what it's all about. It's a race. We want to keep it exciting. No one wants to see someone blow someone by 5 minutes. It's not very entertaining. So
Mhm.
that's the main thing. As long as you guys had fun and it was entertaining, I'm glad. I'm glad to be beaten. That's fine. He's a much better. He's a much better player than me. So
Well, cool.
glad he got the win.
All
So.
right. Well, thanks so much, man. Congratulations to Louis. Congratulations to you on a good first race of the tournament. I'm gonna bounce it back over to Fox because it's his stream. I think we don't need it on Fox's VOD, but just as a reminder,
Oh shoot. Yeah.
to wait till the end of credits and then do a
Yep.
reset, show file names, and then
Okay.
that's about it. So
Yeah, thanks again for restream, Fox, and obviously thanks again, Comms, Fricker, and Ryan, and obviously thanks to Louis for putting up a good race, and good luck to him and the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, thanks to everyone. Thanks to Fricker and Ryan. I didn't decide if I was going to restream this until like 2 hours before it started, and they both just stepped up and were available, which is super cool of them. They did a great job. GG's to Louis and Bydey. It was just such a sick race, dude. Almost the entire race was back and forth and really exciting to watch. Yeah, so I think we're gonna go over to Satan, who is doing a tournament race of her own that doesn't have a restream, unfortunately.
Nice.
Thanks everyone for hanging out.
Thanks a lot. Take care. Have a good night.
Shout outs to all the tourney admins and everything also. Yeah, I hope everyone has a great day. DAO restream in 15. Oh. Alright, well, I'm not going to sit here and chat for 15 minutes, so I'm sure a lot of us will meet again over there. Anyway, have a great day, everyone.